My teacher has said I play that song too much.
What is the whole "Let Me Love You"? I didn't get it.
Well,
Because who's not letting someone love them?
well, who's not letting Justin Bieber, who has millions of dollars, love him?
I know, right? Like if someone came up to me and they go, "Hey Jeff, love when you work," I'm not going to be like, "No, no,
No, I don't want to love
me.
you.
No, I'm not going to let you love me, mate."
Oh, this is AFL Hour on 3SSR.
Wow, flashback to my childhood. Go on.
Your mum didn't cuddle you much, didn't she, Jeff?
No, she let me love her. So thanks, Justin Bieber, for all that.
And you sang to her and she gave you a nice slap across the face.
Well, we're a football show, aren't we?
Yes, we are, and we'll go through round 22 right now. It started off on Friday, and Hawthorn lost top spot after losing by 25 points against Eagles. But who was the real loser out of that game, considering Eagles lost Natanui?
Yeah, I know. But going into the next round, I'm just going to have a check here on who's Hawthorn playing.
Collingwood.
They're playing the Magpies. What's phenomenal? Was it phenomenal? No, phenomenal. Phenomenal about this is that Hawthorn were first on the ladder, which was basically securing them a home final. Now they're fourth. So, I mean, this is a major game for the Hawks to play this week. They need to win it to get a home final.
Well, it's actually a major game for everyone in the top four, considering the Giants, Doggies, or West Coast have a big win, and any of those teams lose, they can drop out the four.
They can, and I'm like, there's a lot on the line here. I just want to check here. The Giants are playing North Melbourne at Etihad Stadium.
And after that, we'll discuss North Melbourne.
Oh, we'll discuss North Melbourne.
I don't think anyone will show up to that game, to be honest.
Probably not.
No.
But so the Giants are playing North Melbourne, which you expect them to win. But the whole question is, now the Saints or the Demons can't make the finals anymore, can they?
No.
They can't make the finals. So we got our top 8.
Yeah.
Well, the big thing is it's just, in the past, it's all been about, okay, let's get this game out of the way and we'll go to the finals. But now it's all about, all right, we need to win this game so we can get a really good spot in the finals.
Well, Melbourne has nothing to lose, and I think Geelong really has to take Melbourne carefully, considering.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And Melbourne, for some reason, are a great team when they're under pressure, and they want to put everything on the line, like you just said. But also the Cats, for some reason, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but do you think the Cats don't play good against the lower sides on the ladder?
They do not at all.
What do you think? Do you think it's all about underestimating?
I don't think Geelong is as good as they think they are yet.
Yeah. Well, do you so I like pretty early right now to say this, but who do you think you're going to tip to win this game? Because I'm considering Melbourne maybe.
I've good tipped. You always tip the better side, but I think Melbourne could win. We'll just probably discuss that more when we go through our round 23 preview.
Yep.
Which starts off tonight. And then after also Hawthorn lost Josh Siegler for another ACL. So, but I think Nano is a bit more important to West Coast than Siegler is to Hawthorn.
Yeah. Well, once upon a time, they had the two best ruckmans in the league. Cox retiring, leaves Natanui on his own. And now, do you know who's rucking for the Eagles at the moment?
I can't remember. I looked at the team yesterday when it got released. And then you'll think to yourself, we go over the Saturday down in Tasmania, you thought Sydney will put on a masterclass and secure that top spot. But they only got over North Melbourne by 9 points in a real scrappy game. And then the game people call the worst game of the season, St Kilda just go over Richmond at the MCG, go over the Twilight, and GWS absolutely destroyed Fremantle by 92 points, and Collingwood destroyed Gold Coast by 71. We go down to Adelaide Oval on Saturday. Again, you'll think Adelaide, a big win after Sydney's close game against North Melbourne, a big win by Adelaide, finished first, and they just bet Adelaide by 15 points, but securing second spot.
Now, the thing is, I reckon on all of these is you would think that these teams will just trample and win by 40-something points. A lot of people are saying, well, these teams aren't ready to go to finals, but in my opinion, I think it's just the coaching staff and the playing team is just being very cautious ahead of finals. No one wants to miss finals. Everyone wants to go finals very fit and healthy and not carrying an injury. So I think that's why we're not seeing as much blowouts as we've seen in the past, just because everyone's just being very cautious heading into the finals.
Well, actually, if you cast back to 2012, either Adelaide was first, and if they won the game, they would have finished first, or they were about to jump in the first, and they played Brisbane, and they lost that game.
I remember that, yeah.
I just don't think Adelaide, then they had that home final against Sydney and lost as well. Adelaide is not the precious side, especially when it comes to finals.
I don't really know why that is. I can't really figure out why Adelaide aren't good at performing in final series. I mean, they beat the Bulldogs last year, but we all know the controversy that was surrounding that.
That was a fantastic game.
Oh, it was. But I think it's just all about... I reckon it's just all about the coaching. How are you going to deal with your players in these close games? Because I remember, I understand Brandon Sanderson was a coach at that time, but I think that they weren't really coached properly in the last couple of finals. They don't have a good defense strategy. But I think now with this new game plan of let's run from half back, let's really put some forward pressure on these blokes, that could take them very far in the finals. But I don't know if they're going to win the finals. They might crack under pressure against a very experienced finals team. Maybe the Eagles, maybe the Hawks. We'll just have to see. Swans, exactly.
Well, then we'll head over to Sunday. And Melbourne, had the chance to keep the finals hope alive, and they went down to Carlton by 20 points.
Yeah.
But I think that's what everyone expected from Melbourne. It's very rarely they win 3 games in a row. 3 games in a row, let alone 4 games. But I think this season's success, no matter where Melbourne finishes at the moment.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. But for some reason, that's becoming Melbourne's MO, not performing where it really needs to count. I'm not sure how to really view this because, do you think it's self-sabotage in a way?
Yeah,
Do you think they want that finals, or do you think they're not really ready?
I don't think they want it this year.
They don't want it this year. As a team, they don't think they're ready.
But I don't think Melbourne, it was like GWS. When GWS started and they win a game for the season, everyone's like, good job. Now they shouldn't lose. Melbourne has to get it, since 2006 when they last made finals. They've been babied.
Exactly.
Look how good Melbourne is. Oh my God, they won 3 games in a row. Melbourne's for next year, 2007, first thing they should have on their board when we are not babies.
Yeah. Well, if you're Simon Goodwin, what would you change? Because Simon Goodwin is going to be the coach next year.
I wouldn't change much, actually. Another year, another fresh legs. The oldest player is 30, so there really wouldn't be anything to change. But, like I said, no baby. There's no close loss. No, it's not, we just lost at the top of the table. No, they need to beat the top of the table. There's no just loss.
You're talking about aggression.
Yep.
You want aggression in the game. Well, I completely agree with you. You need to be aggressive if you want to be a top side. Hawthorn during the 80s and the Eagles in the 90s and North Melbourne in the 90s, they were never coddled or anything like that. They told you got to make finals. Preliminary is the minimum exception, and that's why they're all fantastic.
We'll go down to Saturday, and as much as Geelong did win by 60 points in the end, it was 15 points at half time against Brisbane. What I told you last week, that it was going to be a close game until like 3/4 half time.
Oh, yeah. Geelong
just can't do that against good teams. But they'll be loving themselves at the moment because they've got Adelaide, who's second, Geelong's third. Geelong are 2-0 against them already this year. If I was Geelong, I'll be loving where I am.
Yeah, it's all about performing at this stage. Everyone needs to lace up their boots and start playing. It's going to be... So far the ladder looks like the Swans are first, Adelaide second, Geelong third and Hawthorn fourth, Giants fifth, Eagles sixth, Bulldogs seventh, and North Melbourne eighth. Interesting final series. This final series, in my opinion, is going to be based all around where we play the final series. If the Crows play in Adelaide Oval, I'm going to back them. Same with the Swans and same with maybe even the Giants. If the Giants play North Melbourne at where's the Spotless Stadium, I'm going to back to Giants.
Well, actually, I messaged my mate today. He's a Geelong supporter, and I go, Geelong will love themselves because last time Sydney played Hawthorn at the SCG, Sydney lost. Last time Adelaide 0-2 against Geelong. Hawthorn has been lacking in form. The Giants have never played a final. Doggies final, it's either going to be at the MCG or at Patterson, and the West Coast might have to play a final outside of WA, and North Melbourne shot himself in the foot earlier this week. Geelong's the only team that can look forward to this final series thinking, cool. But then again, they could get too ahead of themselves.
Now, do you think that by the time of the end of this round, this whole final series is going to be based on percentage? Because check this out. From the first position to the fourth position, it's all on 64 points. And then from the 5th to the 7th, it's all on 60. And then North Melbourne by themselves on 48.
Oh, yeah,
is it all percentage?
About percentage, yep.
Because we all know North Melbourne's going to stay on the 8th. That's just mathematically true. But, it's all about who's going to play them. Is it going to be the Giants or do the Giants
lose and West Coast jumps up to 6th?
Yeah,
5th.
I understand that, but I reckon if Hawthorn lose... remind me, who's Hawthorn playing? Collingwood. If whatever chance that Hawthorn lose and then the Giants were to win, it doesn't matter how much the Giants win by, they will go to 4th position because they are amazing on percentage. 142.50
Yeah, they have the second best in the AFL.
And then you got the Hawks on, which is a terrible percentage, 119.70. So, all the Giants really need to do is win, and all the Hawks have to do is lose, and we're going to have a Sydney qualifying final.
That'd be good. And the wrap out round 23, the Doggies got over Essendon in just Adam Cooney's last game. Really nothing special.
Yeah.
Apart from Danaher's. What was he doing? He was snapping him from like 15 metres out. What is going on there?
I have to call out worst fault entire Essendon Football Club's coaching staff on this one.
The forward coaching staff?
Everyone. Why isn't anyone approaching Danaher and teaching that boy how to kick a ball? Because everything, when he snaps the ball, when he's like almost directly in front, or if he's playing on from 50 or 45, then that, you know what it's telling me, Liam? It's telling me that he is not confident in front of goal. He's not confident with his set shot. And if you're a forward player, you're not confident with your set shot, then you're basically rubbish.
Pretty much. And speaking of forwards, before we go to our song, we've got the Common Medal. Josh Kenny, who kicked 5 on the weekend, has pretty much wrapped up the Common Medal. He's on 75. Lance Franklin's on 67 after kicking a point, and Eddie Betts and Tom Lynch are both on 65 after kicking 2 goals and 5 goals respectively. The Brownlow predictor, you got Dangerfield on 26, who apparently scored 2 votes on the weekend. Parker on 25. Would have been Rory Sloan on 23, but he's the one match suspension. But then you got Luke Shuey and Dustin Martin on 22. Hopefully the Brownlow medal looks like this on the night. And the NAB Rising Star nomination is Morris Rioli. Was it Morris Rioli?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I hope I didn't get his name wrong.
I thought it was Daniel. That's his uncle, Daniel Rioli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richmond and got NAB Rising Star. And then after this, we're going to go to the retirees and we'll talk about the big North Melbourne issue. Before I go, actually, what do you think of the big North Melbourne issue? I thought it was poorly handled.
Are we going to be talking about
just before we go to the song.
Well, if we're going to express our opinions now, I think that this situation is going to end up being if Brad Scott is coaching next year and they don't make finals, then he, in my opinion, I believe that he will be sacked by the North Melbourne Football Club. I mean, why would you keep him there after he made a major decision like that?
Exactly. We'll discuss all that and more on the AFL Hour on 3SSR.
Yeah, what?
Thank you. You're a great conversationalist at the moment. It's fantastic. Tell me more. Like, does he have a car?
I was always want to do that on air, but I don't know why. I just started to. All right, yeah. So segment 2, retirees. Okay. All right, so cool. So a lot of people had been either retired or delisted this year, haven't they?
Yeah. This week there was a few. We'll start off with the 3 Collingwood Premiership players, Brett McCaffer, Alan Tuvey, and the big one, Dane Swan.
Yeah, Dane Swan. Well, the Dane Swan was very unfortunate because he did retire because of injury. Do you think he was going to play on if he wasn't injured?
If he wasn't injured, he'll probably just have another year, you know.
At best, it's only you know.
Well, look at his credentials. He's a Premiership player, Brownlow medalist, 3 times Collingwood best and fairest, Lee Matthew Trophy winner, 5 times All-Australian, 2-time Anzac Day medalist.
He's one of the best, and I mean,
and probably one of the best characters in footy.
Oh yeah, like he's one of the last showmen. You know what I mean? Like he was the closest thing we had to a showman. But I mean, he had a terrific career, and I mean, this I think is gonna maybe. I know everyone's gonna probably criticize me for saying this, but I think this is gonna be an upside for Collingwood because I think they have a terrific young list that has a lot of potential in them.
Oh, they do. They
just need a few more scouting. They just need like maybe another dominant forward, and I think maybe just some sort of just a big person in the midfield, just a really large kind of midfielder.
Yeah, well,
but I mean, it's very sad to see him go, but I think he's just part of now that 2010 starting to just beginning to die out. I mean, who else is there? Well, it's like
Pendlebury, Sidebottom,
Cloak for now.
Yeah, he's probably playing his last game this week.
Yeah.
Pendlebury,
Sidebottom. I remember there only being 3. I think that was the 3.
I know. I counted 9. I can't. Pendlebury.
Well, these 3 are out, so
yeah.
But I think this is going to be an upside for the Magpies because it just means another opportunity. But I think just Bucks needs to really start looking at his list, going, okay, what do we need to be a final side? Because they're on the right track at the moment. People might disagree. People might say Bucks is a terrible coach. But I think with the team that they have, they are on the right track.
Well, see, people can say Bucks is a terrible coach. I don't rate either of the Scott brothers as good coaches, great coaches. But one's a Premiership winning coach, and one had took North Melbourne to the last 2 prelim finals.
Well, in fairness, Chris Scott, and I mean this is where the criticism comes in. In my opinion, Chris Scott did walk into a Premiership side.
He did. Yep.
He did walk into a side that was won a Premiership. What was it? 2 years earlier than that. In 2011, he won in 2009. Yeah. So, and I remember hearing an interview with him when Jonathan Brown said to him, "What are you going to be doing different? How are you going to prepare? We're going to prepare him like Lee Matthews prepared us." And he goes, "No, they got their own thing. I'll let them do that." So, I mean, in fairness, I do think he's a good coach, but in fairness, he did walk into a Premiership side.
Oh yeah.
Like he's not that iconic coach that won a premiership in his first year. Like he walked into a premiership side.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad coach at all.
I'm not
by any
saying
means.
I'm not saying he's bad. He's a terrific coach, but I mean, like I think we've oversold him a little bit in the past. But look, I think he's a great coach. But yeah, well, he's good, and I think Brad Scott's good. It's just his team, the players' mental state that needs a little bit of work on.
Oh, let's head off to North. Actually, before we head off to North Melbourne, let's talk about the two other. Jed Adcock, who got rookie drafted by the Bulldogs this year, announced his retirement this week, and Jay Schultz has got delisted.
Oh, really?
He's playing his last game this weekend.
Okay.
And Adcock was a captain for Brisbane.
Yeah, I know. Jay Schultz, I mean, everyone could say, my God, Jay Schultz got delisted, but it's not really a shock when you see Charlie Dixon.
He played a year too long.
Yeah, but it's not really a shock when you see Charlie Dixon, because, I mean, if they don't have Charlie Dixon, you expect them to keep Schultz on the list. But with Charlie Dixon there, you got to say, well, they're set up forward. You know, Weirsoft can go forward and help out a little bit as well, and they've got the future of the forward line with them at the moment. Paddy Ryder might be coming back. He'll be good for him. Angus Murphy will be coming back. He'll be good for him up forward. Jay Schultz doesn't really seem to be a right fit for them at the moment. But he is a good player, and I'm going to miss him.
Now let's talk about the North Melbourne 4. And we'll go through the two big. They're not massive as much as the biggest one is. Del Sano, who has played 300 game this year. You know, you look at that and think, okay, you know, my big issue with these three is that they should have let them all announce their retirement and not, hey, these guys aren't playing next year.
I mean, we don't know what happened in that room, but do you think it was hey, do you want to... We're not really looking to have you on the list anymore. Do you want to go out on your own terms? And they probably said no. But, I mean, we don't... This is just me talking hypothetically. I don't know what happened in that room. But, oh, my God, that was just one of the biggest shocks of footy in a while, I reckon. I didn't know... I don't really... I mean, Petrie you thought was going to happen, but the other three, you didn't... I don't really see that happening.
Well, I maybe thought Del Sano might retire. Yeah. I thought Ferrito had another year in him. But then, you know, the biggest one, of course, and I think the one that's annoyed everyone, was the AFL games record holder and the North Melbourne game record holder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent Harvey, I think someone as the caliber of Brent Harvey should be allowed to announce his retirement, not, hey, he's not playing next year, like he's just a Joe Blow.
Well, it's happened in the past. I think Michael Tuck didn't get to announce his retirement. He was delisted after the 1991 season, I think it was, when he won the premiership. But, I mean, what the biggest one that actually shocked me the most was Nick Del Sano and Ferrito, but especially Ferrito. I think he had a terrific season this year.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic year this year, and I thought he had another year.
Yeah, and I just saw a different side of Ferrito this year. A very confident, take on the game type of Ferrito. But, I mean, let's talk a little bit about the Kangas. So do you think that, in my opinion, I think that if North Melbourne don't make finals next year, you will see a firing of the coach. That is my opinion. Because, I mean, if you sack one of the four best players of the last couple of years for the Kangaroos, and you don't make the finals this year, then the boys going to look at Scott and they're going to say to him, look, mate, you screwed up. You straight up screwed up. You didn't have a backup plan. It failed you in the end, and now we're not making finals. You know what I mean? So, are they going to play finals, these four, or they're not going to play finals?
No, they'll play in the finals. They'll play till the end of whenever North Melbourne season ends.
All right, but who's going to replace them? Do you have any young names in mind? I mean, Wood has had a good season for a young kid.
Oh, but I don't think anyone will replace Boomer. Like, they've got Ben Brown, and who's the greatest human being to ever live.
Yeah.
I love Ben Brown. He's fantastic.
I love it. What's shocking is he got picked in one of the 50s, the number 50s draft.
Yeah. They got Ben Brown. They've got Mad Jack Door. I think they're going to show more faith into Mad Jack.
I did like what I saw when he played this season. I think it's going to be the time we're going to see the massive push for Ben Brown up forward. I don't think it's going to be just one of the three anymore. I think they're going to put him in a very dominant position. I'm saying somewhere in the forward line. I reckon probably centre half. When they're going to see a lot of push from Ben Brown, and now the Drew Petrie's out of the side. But yeah, so
and Jared Waite's playing next year still as well.
Yeah, I in my opinion, they probably should have sacked Jared Waite.
Yeah,
because he has trouble with the injuries. He's had a good season with the Kangas, probably better than he had with the Blues. But he has to go. But what kind of breaks my heart a little bit is a long time ago, Del Sano sat in front of the media and he goes, I'm by himself. He wasn't pushed by anyone to go play for the North Melbourne Football Club because he believed that they were going to be a premiership side. And now he doesn't get to have that opportunity now that the team that he chose to go to is now delisting him.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel bad for all four of them. But, you know, there is... I remember Mick Moldhouse, he had an interview about grand final. I think it was the 2010 when he had to drop Leon Davis for the grand final replay.
Did you drop Leon Davis?
Yep. And I think it was Tuvey came in for Leon Davis.
Yeah.
I can't remember, so don't quote me on that. But he sits down and goes, yeah, it's hard telling Davis he can't play in the grand final, but it's also hard telling a 22-year-old that we don't need you anymore.
Yeah, I understand.
So we understand it's hard for these guys, but these guys have had 10 plus years. Well, Boomer's had a 20-year career.
Yeah.
You know, imagine Joe Blow there at North Melbourne, who's also going to get the sack, and he's played at one game.
Yeah.
So getting delisted, I think, is hard for any player, really.
Well, do you see any of these players moving to another club?
No, to be honest, completely.
I don't see Harvey, Beatrice, or Dan Sander, but I could see Farida going to like the Suns or something.
Oh, I mean, one though. Oh no, I think the Suns, especially in the back line, I'll probably maybe Hawthorn.
No, I don't think Hawthorn will be. I think he's too old for Hawthorn at the moment. I think Clarkson had his time in the sun when he got old players, but I think Clarkson's done with that. So I don't think he's gonna go to the Hawks. But I don't really know, and I don't think the Giants will take him either. But you gotta expect that someone, maybe the Demons, someone might take him.
Well, I don't think he should go up to Brisbane, because I remember me and you, we spoke about Brisbane, and originally I disagree with you, but I've changed my mind. I remember how I said Brisbane should recruit a 32-year-old. You're like, no, recruit all the young kids.
Yeah.
I've done a 360 on that, and I 100% agree with you. Brisbane should stick with the young kids. And that's what I like. I'm talking about young kids. I like the premiership clubs, like the Geelong in 2007, where most of them, I think apart from Stephen King and Tom Harley, who only played like a game for Adelaide, all of them actually played for Geelong. They're all Geelong players.
Cameron Mooney played for North Melbourne.
Again, another player who's only played like a handful, and he was lucky to play in that premiership.
Oh, yeah.
What a game, though. 0-0.
0-0. That's the biggest joke. No, we're not saying Cameron Mooney joke. I'm saying him not getting any possessions or anything like that in the grand final. That was pretty funny in '96. But other than that, and
that's what I love about clubs, and I do love clubs, and that's why I don't think Boomer will leave, because Boomer was a part of that '99 grand final. But
what do you mean? So Boomer's gonna go to the coaching staff, or he's not gonna leave the North Melbourne team?
he'll leave. He'll probably leave the club. He'll probably go be a barista in New York.
Probably, yeah. Well,
like Watson.
Watson's doing that. He could probably give him a job. But give a good reference. Anyway.
Oh, no, I think they're shooting a new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie, and they need an Oompa Loompa. They got that. All good.
But yeah, so I reckon I don't see a lot of them play next year. Maybe Frito, but other than that, I'm not sure. But it was a big shock, and this is one of those things where I think Scott looked at the entire North Melbourne Football Club and said, "This is a hill I've got to die on." And I think that it's going to be do or die from this moment on, because he really put his career on the line delisting 4 of his best players.
Well, I said to you a few weeks ago that my top 8 for next year, my 2, and I still stick with Collingwood and Gold Coast being in my 8 for next year, and I still stick with West Coast and North Melbourne falling out the 8 next year.
Actually, I'm agree with you there. I don't see North Melbourne making the 8 next year.
I see them doing a Fremantle and falling fast. Well,
yeah.
They've won, 2 games out of their last 15.
Yeah, they're a very inconsistent side for the last probably like 10 years, to be honest.
If they didn't get a 9-0 start, they wouldn't be playing finals.
No. But I don't know where they went wrong halfway through the season. But so far, they don't look like the side that deserves to be in the final. I'd rather see the Melbourne Football Club in the final.
Or St Kilda.
Or St Kilda, exactly.
Yeah. And we'll touch on the 2, the Jed Adcock and Jay Schultz. Jed Adcock was, in my opinion, a highly underrated player. His last game for Brisbane, he kicked 4 goals against the Doggies. Club he ended up going to. And Jay Schultz, especially when Port Adelaide was in the finals in 13 and 14, really stood up. And I think they both would be missed. Probably not at the Bulldogs, but Jay Adcock probably was missed at Brisbane.
Yeah.
Especially this year. He's run off half back.
I think just Jay Schultz is one of those unfortunate players that didn't play for the right team to go to the finals. And when he played for the Tigers, was delisted by the Tigers, went to the Port Adelaide Power, really stood up like you said. But I think he was one of those guys that probably should have played a lot more finals than he did, but it's just unfortunate that he didn't.
Well, that's another harsh reality of AFL. Some of the greatest players never win a premiership.
I mean, Jay King was pretty good, but he doesn't have too much medals in his cabinet.
And talking about players who never win a premiership, after this we're going to go for a special tribute for one of the game's greats. You're listening to 3SSR. It is currently 11 degrees today. We have a top of 13, and it's meant to be pretty sunny, but I cannot see the sun. What about you, Jeff?
I see a lot of clouds. I don't know. I reckon we just got LSD lights in the sky. Moving on. Anyway.
We're going to talk about one of the game's greats.
Bad comedy hour by Jeff. Go on.
One of the game's greats, and yes. And I think anyone who's listened to me knows I'm a Freo supporter, so I wasn't actually going to add this in here. I was actually going to just mention him. But he's too big of a player for us to leave out. And we are talking about the one, the only, Zach Dawson.
Well, he did play 100% killed at that one time.
Well, the Zach Dawson's credit, he is a two-time player of the finals. He won one in 2010 for St Kilda, and the 2014 he was announced the player of the finals.
Yeah.
But no, I'm actually talking about Matthew Pavlich.
Jesus Christ. Just talk about Pavlich already. Go start. So yeah, he's 6-time All-Australian, and
He is the 6-time All-Australian. He's the only one to actually have an All-Australian in the back line, the midfield, and the forward line.
oh, I actually didn't know that.
In 2002, he was fullback All-Australian.
Fullback All-Australian.
Yep.
Well, did he ever play in the defence? I only seen him play in the midfield and forward line.
You know, funny enough, so have I.
Yeah, so I haven't seen. The probably just a typo.
No, I think he only played 1 year. I remember I was watching what was it before? It was Fox Footy. I think it was called Fox Footy actually.
Fox Sport.
No, the one like in 2005. Was it Fox Footy? Was it called Fox Footy?
The channel.
Yeah.
It was just like Fox Sport 3 back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they showed an old Fremantle Essendon game, and Pavlich was playing in the back line.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, Pavlich is an All-Australian, the back line, the midfield, and the forward. And he's also on the bench. He's been on the bench a few times. He is the 6-time best and first winner for Fremantle.
Yeah.
Which is won the most out of any clubs. 8-time Freo leading goal kicker. Considering Freo doesn't have a good dominant tall forward, it's not really the biggest achievement. He was a Freo captain for 2007-2015. After Sunday, he's played 353 games.
Yeah.
Which is the 14th most in the AFL history. And if he kicks, it depends how many goals he kicks. He's currently on 699. Hopefully, he will break the 700th mark.
Yeah.
And become the 20. At the moment, he's 22nd on the most goals ever kicked.
Well, he is truly one of the greats, or probably at the moment the great player of Fremantle ever got. Because when did he start? He started like the late 90s, didn't he?
He debuted round 1, 2000.
Round 1, 2000. So he's been there for 16 years. And, you know, he's one of those guys that you expect that they're going to make a statue put in his honour. Because although he didn't win a premiership, he played in the grand final. He captained the grand final. And he's just been so incredible since then. You know, and he's probably the most accomplished Freo player ever.
Well, yeah, I don't think anyone...
To ever come to Freo and stay at Freo. He never played for like Geelong or anything like that.
No, I don't even think Fife will beat him. And if that's if Fife stays, that's completely another story that we spoke about last week. But yeah, Pavlich is one of those players. I've got his book actually, and he goes in 2002. At the end of end of the. So at the end of 2001 and 2002.
Yep.
He goes to Fremantle. Hey, I want to go back to Adelaide, and they're like, okay, I'll see you Monday. He just brushed him off like, you're not going, mate. He ended up talking to Mark Williams, the Port Adelaide coach, and then the book cuts out kind of thing. He doesn't explain why he stayed. He goes, I wanted to go. I spoke to him, blah, 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 back in training. He doesn't really explain why. That doesn't happen these days. These days it's, I want to go, and they go.
Yeah.
There's really no... Because I guarantee Jonathan Brown said on the open mic that in 2006 he had a chance to go to Collingwood.
Yeah, I remember hearing that, yeah.
I think it was 2002 as well he had a chance. And that's what... I don't mind when players... I don't blame players if they have the, I want to go back. Pavlich was part of a bad Freo side. His mum even didn't want him to go to... I think she called up the Freo office and he was like, don't draft my son, please.
Yeah.
Because, Freo is kind of like Gold Coast at the moment, not the place where players want to be. Which we can, I won't get into Gold Coast because I've got a thing with Jaguar O'Meara at the moment. He's not my favourite person in the world.
Yeah.
Pavlich is also a 2-time Coleman Medal runners-up.
Oh, do you know what year those were?
07, 2012.
Right.
3-time Ross Glenning Medal, which is the Western Derby.
Yeah.
Most games played for a WA side, so out of 3 on West Coast. Most goals kicked for a WA side, out of 3 on West Coast. Josh Kennedy next year should become the second. He's almost past West Coast most goals, which means I guarantee you he won the trade out of Judd and Kennedy.
And he's one of the best Pavlich, and I have a lot of respect for him, especially he's been there through the tough times of Fremantle. Like once upon a time, in like 2009 or 8, they were bottom of the ladder, like consistently actually.
Freo's always at the bottom of the ladder. Just recently we're not.
But he just they've really put up a fight as of late to really make the finals and stuff like that. It's just been this year they've dropped off. So, you got to have a lot of respect for a guy like that who is stuck by the club and taking on the responsibility of being captain and all that stuff. So, I have a lot of respect for Matthew Pavlich, and it's going to be an interesting year next year with all these top guys suddenly leaving the club or being delisted. So, I think it's exciting, actually, just seeing next year it's going to be the start of a new era. It's going to be the start of a new premiership team that we haven't seen in a long time.
Well,
Because really the league hasn't changed since 07.
well, 2014, Jonathan Brown retired. Yes, it was a bit premature, but he was at heart and soul of the Brisbane during their tough times, which is continuing. Revolt will retire next year.
Yeah.
Who was there for the tough times throughout St Kilda.
It's just all about the coaching stuff. We need a good coaching stuff along all the teams, because all the teams have this great talent of players that we're all excited to see right now. Because it's been a while since we've witnessed a young player just dominate, and with Darcy Moore and the Merritt brothers and who else, like Bruce from St Kilda. All these guys, they're going to be the top guys in the future, especially GWS. GWS will be a premiership side one day if they can stay intact.
Exactly, but I think with the days of a Pavlich, the days of a Revolt, and the days of Brown, I won't say they're over. But if you cast back to the start of the season, Jake O'Meara had immediate confidence, and he said, "I believe I'm a loyal person. I'm not talking to any club." Comes out yesterday and goes, "Oh, I want to move."
Yeah, I don't like it when players do that out loud.
Oh, the Gold Coast president wasn't happy.
I mean, it's great for the media because we get to have a story and stuff like that. But I mean, when you're a team, I mean, if we play for a football team and then you just said out loud, "Hey, I'm going to be moved to another club," I don't want to play with you anymore because that shows me you don't want to play with me.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're considering moving and you want to talk to other clubs, don't make it public. Go and talk to other clubs and say secretly behind doors, "Hey, I want to express some options." Don't go out to the media and just start mouthing it off. That's just unbelievably disrespectful to a club, and it's not. It's just it's indecent in a way, if that makes sense. It's very indecent thing to do.
Well, yeah, with the O'Meara case, it's more Gold Coast spent 2 years trying to get his knee right, and then he walks out. This was the Gold Coast chairman had to say. To us, loyalty is a two-way street, not a one-way road. We have built our whole junior program around him, the Jacob Juniors. We are seeking significant compensation for him, and if we don't get it, he can go to the draft. He also said before that Jacob O'Meara does not have the right to choose what club he wants to go to.
Well, because he just started, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's fourth year.
Yeah, no, he's not 28 years old. He hasn't won a premiership. He doesn't really have much. We've seen a little bit of Jacob O'Meara, and I think the biggest problem is we just started mouthing him off to be the next Gary Ablett.
Yeah, and also they also said that the Gold Coast chairman also said that Gold Coast is not a training ground for players to come, get a bit more practice, and then go to another club.
Because they have been
last year with Dixon.
They've been such a joke so far because everyone's like, this is going to be the next premiership side. It's not going to work if your premiership side's leaving. You know what I mean?
Well, look at the Giants. Complete opposite.
I know they've been properly managed, and I think Kevin Sheedy is to congratulate over that. But I just want to say, if the Gold Coast president saying we want compensation for Jacob O'Meara, then what are they going to get for him?
Oh no,
what would be acceptable?
They said they want a ready-built midfielder.
Who's going to be that midfielder?
Well, I heard on SEN today they were talking about they should do a swap. O'Meara to Bulldogs and Jake Stringer to Gold Coast, because Stringer's missing out again, second week in the VFL.
Yeah.
I know this is a long shot, but I'm thinking Dion Prestia, another player who wants to leave Gold Coast, has nominated Richmond.
Yeah.
I'll try to get Brent Deledio.
How old Deledio? I think he's
30.
Don't get Deledio. Deledio's too old for that club. If they weren't ready bit midfield, why would you trade out? If you don't have a premiership team yet, why would you trade out one of your future premiership players, maybe 2 or 3 years down the track if it was to work out, for a guy who's 30 years old who might come to the club, hate the club, and then not play as good as you think he would?
Well, there must be something wrong in the Gold Coast where these players want to leave. Like Dion Prestia, everyone knew pretty much the start of the season was like, "Oh, we'll see how we're going," and O'Meara was like, "Oh, I'll consider as well." And when players say they'll consider their options, you pretty much know they're going.
But why I don't understand is why is everything not working out at the Gold Coast Suns? Is it just because it's not a... Because, I don't know, I'm trying to figure it out myself. Is it just because...
But it's Queensland football.
It's Queensland football. No one cares. No, I hate to say this, but it's probably true. Queensland football, compared to Victorian football, isn't of high stature. They don't have good atmosphere. And, I mean, let's talk about facilities. Do they have good facilities compared to the Victorian clubs?
Apparently, Brisbane has really poor ones, and so does Gold Coast.
And that's shocking me, seeing as Gold Coast just started. You know, when the team just started in the AFL... You seem to be properly funded, have the best equipment, the newest equipment. But, I mean, it's just nothing's really working down there. And it doesn't feel like the AFL's doing much to lift the Gold Coast Suns.
Well, I think the AFL are more concerned at the moment with the Giants. You know, when something's going bad, kind of put a, cover over it and like, look at the Giants, look at this team, they're about to play finals.
Once upon a time, we were all sitting around the table saying to each other, oh, well, I mean, the Gold Coast started working out so far because they were going to make finals at one
Oh,
stage.
2014, yeah.
2014, and they said, well, the Giants, it's just been a train wreck. Nothing's really worked out for them. They're not winning games. No one's coming to their games. Remember they had Manchester United came there to give everyone free tickets to go watch the game, and no one rocked up to that either. And they go, well, this has just been a disaster. Well, now it's just flipped, hasn't it? Everyone, the plan worked perfectly for the Giants. The plan went to disaster for the Suns.
I've looked in depth into Gold Coast because I'm pretty much because remember when a few weeks ago when Chris Scott was like, oh, I'd love to have Ablett back, and all the speculation that Ablett might be leaving. I looked into Gold Coast, and backline and forward line, they are, they're top notch.
Yeah.
A few more years, a few more kilos, top notch. It's the midfield that's hurting them. Next year, hopefully Davis Wallow comes back.
Yeah.
Full fitness. They have good midfielders. I'm sticking by it until round 5 next year. The Gold Coast will play finals next year. I'm sticking to my guns and saying the Suns will play finals next year.
I don't know. I also think that Lynch should be the captain because everyone's been saying that he should be the next captain, but I don't see it yet. If he wants to try him out in the future, maybe give him a little bit of training.
Who would you be captain next year? They had 4 vice captains this year. They had Lynch, Stephen May, Sam Day, and Dion Prestia. One won't be at the club next year.
I like Stephen May.
Well, that's all. That last week they had a whole article about Lynch and May could co-captain.
I've always had the idea of co-captains.
I've never liked co-captains either. I've never been a big fan. I always think there should be one captain.
One captain, one leader, one guy to tell everyone what to do.
No co-coaches. There's no co-coach.
I mean, you can only have one captain because then it just becomes a battle of the egos, and there's a lot of things that you got to worry about.
Yeah. Well, before we go to the break, we'll just talk about Pavlich, who was our main topic.
Yeah.
Plays his last game this weekend against the Doggies. We'll probably discuss it more when we talk about it in round 23. But Freo need a win. I know Pavlich actually they put up on the Freo website yesterday, he had a whole meeting and goes, we don't need a win. They need to win.
They need it's just because you don't want to. We've seen teams lose who they've had players that were respected for so much. They have to win this game.
Because look what they did for his 350th. They did not perform whatsoever.
Do you think they're going to cut the coverage out like they did for his 350th?
Oh, there'll be riots, especially in Perth.
Yeah.
They're absolute riots. So the riots at the North Melbourne game, the riots at Patterson Stadium.
Guys, to 3SSR, the AFL Hour. AFL Hour on 3SSR Radio with Liam and Jeff. Big news of footy, isn't it?
Oh, it's always big news in footy. Apart from pre-season, then there's really not much.
Yeah, it's just all about, hey, what are you guys doing? Not much.
Hey, he trained. Cool.
Good on him.
There's always an issue in footy, and today we're going to talk about the Eddie Betts incident with the Port Adelaide fan who threw a banana.
Very disappointing.
Port Adelaide fans have come out and said that this lady has been a nuisance all year, usually dropping the C-bomb a lot, a lot of profanity, not the best supporter there is.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Betts came out yesterday and has said that it's great that she has apologised.
Yeah.
I don't hold grudges. I forgive her for what she has done. I know she's got a lot of abuse on social media, but I have forgiven her and so should all of you.
All right, okay, that's very nice of Eddie Betts, but everything about that was just disrespectful. I don't know, in a time when we've continuously said that this is wrong, we've continuously shamed people in the media. Overall, this has been just unbelievable that it actually happened. What she do? She threw a banana at Eddie Betts.
Yeah, threw a banana at Eddie Betts.
Yeah, like I don't know who thinks that's cool when you've seen over and over again in the media and in the past on TV that this is just downright the wrong thing to do. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what would cause a person to do that.
Never do I, especially in 2016, and we all know that racism is bad. We can't go, oh, it was the times.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
when your grandmother yells something racist, then you're like, come on, Nan. And, you think to yourself, well, she grew up in that time.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Like, I don't believe that's okay anyway.
Look, we're gonna sit around in 20 years when it's gonna come up for some reason. We're not gonna be like, oh, well, times are different back then. We're gonna be like, no, it was still wrong back then. It's still wrong now.
It was still wrong in the 1800s.
No, probably not then. But like now, I mean, it's not good that's happening now. And I mean, credit to Eddie Betts how he's handled all this. But so is she banned? What happened to her?
At the moment, they've suspended it. So she's suspended from attending games, and it's the Port Adelaide Indigenous players that will get to come up with her sentence.
Oh, wow.
Eddie Betts doesn't want her to be banned. Eddie Betts thinks she should come and enjoy the footy. He does believe she needs to be educated more about Indigenous culture, and that it's not okay, which I don't understand. How do you not understand that? Hey,
I mean, it's not like she's gonna sit there and she's, oh, now I understand why I can't be racist. Like, racism is just wrong, just from any point of view. So it's not like she doesn't know that what she did was wrong. You know what I mean?
it's like, wow, just because he has a different color skin, I can't be mean.
Well, yeah, I don't know, that was a thing. I mean, it's the most basic kind of human respect that you don't be like aggressively, angrily racist towards another individual. It's wrong. But
Well, when I used to play footy, when I played under 18s, I was a bit of a tag role. I used to annoy my opponent, right? You probably know me in class, bit of a a-hole.
yeah, we'll just go with nuisance. But go on.
But I knew my lines. If someone's a different color skin than me, you don't bring that up.
No, you don't bring that up.
If someone's mother passed away and you knew that, you wouldn't bring that up.
No.
You'll be like, I think the worst one I did, well, not the worst one I did. Oh yeah, the worst one I did. There was this kid, and I was playing the 4 line, and he was talking trash. So I started running around him and singing Oompa Loompa because he was short and chubby.
Yeah, see, like for me, like we're not condoning bullying or anything like that, but it's still, like to me that's pretty funny. You know what I mean? Singing Oompa Loompa
Yeah.
to someone. I mean, it's like saying where like you make fun of someone's hair or whatever, like like that's fine, but just racism is way over the line in today's day and age. Like we've fought so hard to get rid of it, and the AFL. I think they're putting some sort of rule, haven't they? Like it's like a
Well, the fans get suspended if they do.
yeah, but players get like heavily
Yeah.
fined and suspended as well.
Well, players for one shouldn't do it. Especially if a player does it, it's the worst because they have Indigenous players on their team.
Yeah,
Imagine calling someone a black dog hypothetically, and then walking into the change rooms and shaking an Indigenous player or a player that's another skin color than you's hand.
I mean it's downright wrong, but allegedly, according to the Herald Sun, that has this been happening a lot? Like people will be saying that she's been saying
Yeah, apparently she's been a bit of a nuisance all year. Yeah.
yeah. So that's I reckon a lot of people saying, well, let's let her in the game. In my opinion, we shouldn't. If she's continuously acting this way, I mean, you can like I'm not saying that people shouldn't say whatever they want. Like if you're at the footy and you don't agree with an umpire's decision or whatever, you have a right to just get up and yell whatever you want. But when it's like downright
the line.
offensive, personally offensive. I mean, if it's like business, like it's like yeah, but a kick, you know what I mean. But when it gets personal, when you're talking about someone's background or whatever, then it's gonna get pretty bad.
Well, the worst one I've ever heard in my time ever being in the footy, it was a Freo Richmond game I went to, and I was sitting with the Fremantle supporters, and this is the year after Michael Johnson got fined for having possession of cocaine.
What year was this?
2009.
Oh, okay.
So it was 2010.
Yeah.
So I'm in the game, and someone goes, "Hey, Snuffs,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Wow, okay, could you not, please?"
Yeah, I understand.
You want to enjoy the footy, and you want to. For that guy, he called his own someone who plays on his team Snuffs.
Yeah, do you think that she should have been banned for life? Because we've seen it in the past.
I think she should be banned for life.
Yeah.
I understand Eddie Betts has said that she deserves another chance, but I think she should be banned.
Yeah.
We're going to head off to a song, and then after this, we're going to talk about some future stars of the game here on the AFL Hour on 3SSR. AFL Hour on 3SSR with Jeff and Liam. And a lot of clubs will be celebrating the end of the season. No, guarantee you clubs like Brisbane, Essendon cannot wait until this round's over.
Oh, yeah, I think S is a big one because they have their players coming back. But, there's a lot to look forward to next season with a lot of young players coming in to take on larger positions.
Yes, future stars. Today we spoke about the stars leaving. Now we're talking about stars coming, stars entering.
Yep.
Entering. That's
Entering,
better.
yep.
And I don't think you can look no further than the big two, probably the two captains of their respective clubs in a few years. Bontempelli for the Bulldogs and Patrick Cripps for the Blues.
I like Patrick Cripps. Remind me, where does Patrick Cripps play again for the Blues?
Midfielder.
Midfield.
He's 194, the era of big midfielders. Both Bontempelli and Patrick Cripps are quite tall.
I mean, Patrick Cripps has been great. You can also throw Silvani into that pack. I mean, he's walked into a club where there was a lot of expectation because of his name being a third-generation star. But, I mean, I reckon I'd like to see... For the last couple of years, we haven't seen a lot of forwards for the Blues, so you want to see more forwards for the Blues. But, I mean, Patrick Cripps is amazing, and he might be a captain in the future.
Oh, I'll pencil him in. I'll
Yeah.
permanent marker him in. Him and Bontempelli will probably one day play off in the grand final together as captains.
Oh,
of their
hopefully.
respective
I'd love
clubs.
to see that.
Also some future future stars. You got Adam Treloar from the Collingwood Football Club, who previously played for GWS, and he left the Giants at the end of last year, which wasn't, I'm pretty sure, a win-win for both sides because it doesn't hurt the Giants. They have enough talent.
Yes.
But He is an absolute gun of a player, Adam Treloar is.
He is, and if you look at that entire Collingwood side, it is just amazing just to see that side they have at the moment, because they've been getting a lot of flack lately for not playing well. But I mean, when you look at the young guys they have in that team, it's actually really good. They've got Darcy Moore, who's going to be, you would expect some sort of medal winner in the future. Would it be Anzac medal?
Definitely, yeah.
Or Brownlow or something?
He is really clean.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, we're talking about, let's compare Danaher to Darcy Moore.
Yeah.
Darcy Moore is really clean. The first time I watched him was against Bulldogs last year. And I was watching him, and he kicked, I think, 4 or 5 goals, and I was in awe of, like, who's this kid?
Yeah.
He's just taking the game on, and he is absolutely destroying it.
And not only that, I think Jeremy Howe probably played pretty good, a handful of great games, I think.
Well, I thought he'd be a big loss to Melbourne, but turns out not really.
No, but he's played well for the Magpies. And for a season next year where they've lost one of their best players, with Dane Swan, it's a time to see that the next cast of awesome players rocking up and really just taking the game apart. So I really can't wait for next show, because I'm really interested to see these young kids really become legends of their own game and make some history, like Ray Walston, Pavlichny, Cooney and all those guys, what they did in the past. I can't wait to see what's happening for the next 10 years or so.
Now let's go to the Bombers, and they got future captain. And I agree. I watched on the AFL.com. They had the wash up, and they talked about how even though Heppel might become captain next year or the year after, Zach Merritt will captain Essendon one point in his career.
He's probably going to be one of those guys that captains when he's like 28, 20. What is he now? 20.
He's probably like a Mundy. You know how Mundy got the captaincy at 32?
Yeah, he's going to probably be one of those guys if he decides to stick for the club. But he will be a legend for the future. His brother's going to get a lot of praise, but I think his brother's pretty good. They work well together. And also when you look at, like, my God, Parrish, Fantasia and Tipper Woody, who have just stood up and played amazing games. I mean, I watched Dreamtime at the G Live when those 3 boys came together and kicked a goal against the Tigers deep in the forward 50, and then Parrish snapshot it from the boundary, and I was like, this is the future of our club. I can't believe they just pulled that off.
Isn't it good when you see the club's future? And Brisbane has seen their club's future for the last 5 years because they kept on leaving.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Richmond?
Brisbane.
Brisbane. I'm not a big fan of Brisbane at the moment, because they, for some reason, haven't been able to just put a good side together. If Michael Voss was still there, they would probably have that side. But, I mean, they've just been always terribly hurting that Brisbane side over the last couple of years. I don't know who they're going to bring in, but, I mean, massive scouting needs to be done for the Brisbane Lions.
Now a future stars, and it's good to see the Crouch brothers for Adelaide. Brad Crouch signed until 2020, and they're both very young, both the Crouch brothers for Adelaide. Both probably will lead the best and fairest. Maybe Sloan will probably get it in the end.
Yeah.
But they're both really good midfielders.
Both terrific midfielders, and I think it's terrific that they've signed for this long, because I hope we see less of players jumping from club to club and a lot more loyalty to sense.
Because you want as a kid growing up, like for me, it was Pavlich. Growing up, Pavlich was always there for Fremantle. Yeah. And, even though there was times where he thought about leaving, he never did. We don't want to get to the EPL, and what's the point of looking up to a player when in 2 years' time he's going to go for more money anyways?
Yeah, I never liked... I love watching the A-League, but I don't like how we have players... we always have a new team every year, a completely new team. And I really miss those days of when you have that player that everybody loves. You know what I mean? Like, for the moment, it's Bruce for the Hawks. And, like, do you remember when Milburn kneeled Silvani at Princess Park, like 20 years ago, whatever it was? Do you remember that?
No. What did they do?
Oh, it was amazing. It was playing, because Silvani, as we know, is like God for Carlton. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, Silvani is, before you go to Carlton, you put your hand on a bit of lasagna or something, and you pray to Silvani.
Silvani's playing card from the 80s. No, but I remember Milburn needed him in the back, and he ended up getting stretched off, and the place rioted. And I mean, I really want that to come, not the riots. I really want that to come back, just the love of a player. Like it happened with Fletcher as well, when Fletcher was playing for the Bombers. If anyone touched Fletcher, the place would go nuts. And I think I want to see that back again.
Oh, we need player loyalty back in the AFL.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's easy to be like, look at how loyal all these Hawthorn players are. But most of them came into Hawthorn in 07. Yeah. Around 05 to 08. So they played in that premiership and they knew success was coming again. If a team like Brisbane gets up, a team like Brisbane or Gold Coast find a way to get up, that's through loyalty. Yeah. The way Doggies have got up, that's through loyalty.
Yeah.
The way Geelong at the moment has got up this year, that's not through Loyalty. That's through Dangerfield and Henderson.
Oh, yeah.
The Collingwood 2010 premiership was half and half. It was half Loyalty, and then half they traded in. And I don't mind players trading in those players. If you need a ruckman, you trade in for a better ruckman.
I understand that.
But I'm a big fan of one club players playing in a premiership.
Me too.
Like the Geelong one was so special because most of them has played together. Like I said, apart from Stephen King and a few other players, even Cameron Mooney and the captain, what's his name? Tom Harley.
Tom Harley.
Harley played a game for Port Adelaide, and Cameron Mooney only played a handful of games for North Melbourne. Yes, he won the premiership, but he left the year after.
And how many players were drafted in the 80s for the Hawks when they were that dominant team of that decade?
A few, yeah.
Because there wasn't a lot of them. They were very good at developing, David Domenico and Devin Brereton and Jason Dunstall and all those guys. And Gary Ayres. They all came to that club. I mean, Devin Brereton probably the only one that moved. He went to the Magpies, I think the Swans after that. But, I mean, that entire club, the reason why the club was so amazing was they built a terrific environment for them to play and learn in, and that's why they were so dominant. So if you want to have a good club, start from now deciding who do you want where, and then just try to work with that club, make them feel like brothers together. Because at the moment, the next team I see that happening with is Melbourne.
Yeah,
I see Melbourne.
100%
I
agree
see
with that.
Melbourne having that team when they're just going to be so good in the future, and then they're going to be that team where everyone just stays. Like I can't see Watts moving. I can't see
What's the
Gawn
sign?
moving.
Yeah.
I can't see Hogan moving. Like I just see all these guys just being awesome players for the next 4 or 5 years.
I 100% agree, and I think the next Melbourne premiership, I know it's been since '64 or since I've won one, but they can see the cup. They can see the Holy Grail.
But the thing is, are they going to go get it? They can see it, but can they get it?
That's my point. It's, you can see it. You can make it out. If you squint your eyes, you
Yeah.
can see it. Melbourne that's pretty much been Melbourne since '64. They can just see that Holy Grail, but can't reach it.
Yeah.
With Melbourne, but then that's what I mean with Melbourne. You don't need to get a Patrick Dangerfield. You can make your own Patrick Dangerfield. Yes, Dangerfield's a once in a generation type player,
Yeah, I understand.
but so is Jack Viney. So is a Fife. So is Luke Shuey. I think Luke Shuey is a highly underrated player. Pretty much the entire Hawthorn side.
I don't think Shuey's that underrated right now.
Oh, right, especially the game against GWS a few weeks ago. But I really like Luke Shuey.
Well, I think it's just if he wants to be not underrated anymore, but I think he just needs to be he just needs to take charge more and really push himself to win some sort of medal, like a like a premiership or something.
Yeah, and talking about loyalty as well. The one thing I don't know why, for me personally, the thing I hate the most about footy, I'm not a fan about captains who play for other clubs. My main example was Judd in 2007 when he came over from West Coast.
And that ended up being a bad deal if you think about it.
Well, yeah, West Coast definitely won with Kennedy there.
Oh my god, yeah.
But a player coming around and winning a premiership, and I do understand. Like I got Taylor Adams. I got a feeling Taylor Adams could captain Collingwood in a few years.
Yeah.
Either Taylor Adams or Adam Treloar, who both play for GWS, but Taylor Adams I think he played in their only first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So he's still a kid when he moved. But I don't know about you. I don't know how you feel about other players who are coming from other clubs and then captaining a club.
Well, look, if you need to do it, like some players just get fed up. They go, "Well, I'm not getting anywhere with this club. I need to move." I get that, but I mean, try your best not to. But I understand. I don't like it, but I can understand why it needs to happen. And I understand that players need to play premierships because that's why you get into footy. You don't get into footy just to play the footy. You get into footy to play premierships. We don't play for sportsmanships over here. We play for premierships.
That is true.
That's the whole point of the AFL, to win a premiership. And if you can't win a premiership with the club, sometimes you need to look elsewhere. But my point is, don't go around saying, "Hey, I'm looking for a new club right now." Do it discreetly. I don't want to see you publicly disrespecting your own club, the one that gave you a chance to play.
Especially because the clubs put so much time into players as well, training them. And I think no matter what player leaves, it's a slap in the face.
At times it is, yeah.
And I don't know about you, you probably look at your Essendon list and think, I know who's leaving. I look at the Fremantle list, and I'll name one player right now. Ed Langdon hasn't signed. There's no media speculation that he's going. He's gone. He won't.
Oh, yeah.
He will probably tell Ross Lyon next week that he wants to go back to Melbourne.
Oh, yeah.
There is no way he's going to stay at the club. We're going to go to a song, and we'll be back here on the AFL Hour on 3SSR.
You're listening to the AFL Hour on 3SSR radio. Swinburne radio, that is. Anyway, so...
Damn, I thought it was Deacon Radio.
No.
Oh, wrong place.
Wrong place. I was going to say Fox FM for a second. Anyway.
AFL Fox Footy.
AFL Fox Footy. So, let's talk a little bit about the 2008 draft. What do you think? That was apparently the best draft in a long time, isn't it?
Well, I stumbled across, my many journeys of many years. But yeah, I was just looking through the draft, thinking about the draft this year, and I stumbled across 2008 I looked at the top 4 picks of the draft.
Yeah.
You had Jack Watts, Nananui, Stephen Hill, and Hamish Hartlett. Which you look at now, they're all both four fantastic players.
Yeah, but you gotta remember of that time, that was a big issue because Natanui went to the Eagles and was a star instantly, and Jack Watts went to the Demons and he took it for a while to find his feet.
Stephen Hill was controversial because everyone was like Daniel Rich, pick number 3. He went pick number 8, went to Brisbane, and Stephen Hill has probably been one of Freo's most reliable players. He's played the most games out of all of them, 127.
Well, do you think Daniel Rich will be
171?
Do you think Daniel Rich will be a better player if he went to another place? If he had gone to another team when he was picked up?
Not really, because he's getting tagged at the moment and he just can't handle it.
Yeah, he's phenomenal at the Lions, but I mean, now that he's played well for the last couple of games, you're right. He has got tagged and he's struggling.
Yeah. And let's look at Jack Watts. If we had this conversation 2013, we'll probably like Nananui, Hartlett, or even Hill. Actually, we'll probably go Nananui and Hartlett. Hill would never be the superstar. He is a fantastic player. I think he's better than his brother, Bradley Hill. But he's such a quiet player, such a quiet man. He stays more at the limelight than anyone else. So you're probably like, oh, Hamish Hartlett, but Nananui definitely be the best. When he's got an All-Australian.
Yeah, no, and he's unfortunate not to have played for the rest of the season.
And he's not playing next year either. Nanui's out for 2017.
That's right, he did his ACL.
Fast forward to 2016. Jack Watts is in contention of All-Australian, you would say. He has had a phenomenal season, and he's starting to act like the number 1 draft pick.
Yeah.
Which is because they don't play him as a dominant forward. They can play him, hey, Watts, we need you at the back line for 5 minutes. Okay, I can do that. Takes a few marks. Hey, Watts, jump back in the forward line. Cool. Kicks 2 goals.
I think I value Watts mostly at the centre half back role.
Well, but I agree.
Like he's better. Because I think it's just less pressure. He doesn't have to kick a goal. He can just play as that loose backman.
What about Hamish Hartlett? Do you prefer him in the back line, like running off half back, or do you prefer him in the midfield?
Hamish Hartlett. That is a good question. Well, I think he's more valued in the back line for the power.
Yeah, I think he's good. He's good running off the back line. And actually, we're talking about future stars. I can't believe we didn't mention Ollie Wines for Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
I can't believe we let him slip our minds. He's an absolute superstar.
And I think it's really good for the power because we're moving to that game plan of counter attack. It's no longer okay. Let's win the ball out of the middle and hit up the flanks. Like it's just all about okay. Let's get the ball to the half back line. Give it to whoever's in the half back line. You got Harlett. You got Tipperwoody. You've got
Tipperwoody.
Yeah, I'm talking different teams. Yaron if Yaron comes to play back for the Tigers. Okay. Like we have a lot of different players. He's really pioneered it. I think. But I think we're just moving into that era of, okay, get to your half-backs and let them just run and carry.
Yeah, that's why Fremantle have Stephen Hill running off half-back.
Yeah.
I like the idea. And Carlton started that with having Yaron off half-back.
And I started with the trio. It was like Gala and Yaron and Betts. They used to just run from one end to the field to the other because they were like the fastest team. Or should I say the fastest players.
They were really good, which is probably a big loss for Carlton.
Oh, seeing as they're all left now.
But yeah, I do agree. AFL now needs to have the fast backline.
Yeah.
And, you look at backline and you think you match up players and you always put the talls on the talls. But now we live in the day where the 189 defender plays on the 200cm defender.
I mean, I was watching, who plays for the Bombers? Ambrose, and he was playing against, like, Gunston and Rewalt. And I was like, why are they putting this kid against those big guys? He plays in a ruck as well. They throw him in the ruck. We're just moving to the age of, okay, well, we're not playing contested footy anymore. We're playing, get any player on the field and give him a role to play, whether it be run and carry or loose man or whatever. It's no longer player on player. It's more now of movement, I guess. More movement than anything.
Yeah. So if you could choose at least 4 and you're starting a team and you have, okay, Jeff, you have either Watts, Nanui, Hill or Hartlett. Who would you choose first?
Nanui. Definitely Nanui.
I'm 100% with you with Nanui.
Because he can do anything. He can play in the forward line. He can play as a midfielder. He's got the speed of a midfielder. And he can play... you can put him in the back line if you want. He can take a good mark. Why wouldn't you want a guy like Nanui?
Who would you pick second?
Wow. Second? I like... Stephen Hill. I like to play him as a small forward. I reckon that's how I would play him differently.
Small forward?
I'll play him differently. I think he's got the speed. He's good with his hands. And he's got good legs.
Number 3?
Number 3, Jack Watts.
Definitely. And then Hartlett, number 4.
Hartlett, number 4.
Which is no disrespect to Hartlett. This is actually a really good top 4. And it's very rare that usually, well, the drafts are okay. But it's very rare that you have 4 really good players in the top 4.
And I mean, the reason why I went with Jack Watts is because I'm a big fan of those players who play at the half-back line, and they're good like sweepers in a sense. That's why I went with Jack Watts. Like, no, we get no disrespect to Hartlett, but I mean, if I were to put a team together, that would be my team.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, what?
How well do you know grand finals?
How well do I know grand finals?
Yes.
I used to be able to list all the grand finals up to like 89, 88.
Well, we're going to test your knowledge after this here on 3SSR.
Really? What is it going to be? What are you going to do?
I'm going to give you some grand finals, and I'm going to see if you can guess who played in them.
All right. We'll get that short after the break. So you're listening to the AFL Hour on 3SSR. AFL Hour on 3SSR Radio with Liam and Jeff. Liam, what are you going to play a game with me now?
You want to play a game?
Oh, not if you say it like that. Like, if it was like, hey, you want to play one game? Yeah, sure, why not?
Hey, you want some candy?
Like,
It's in my van.
I didn't go up to I didn't go up to my friends and say, hey, you want to play a game? Yeah, what do you want? AFL? Oh yeah.
Wait, toots.
Just start the game, Liam.
Well, we're gonna test your grand final knowledge.
Okay.
And let's start off here. What year was the first VFL/AFL/WWE grand final?
1990.
19 VFL AFL.
Oh, VFL AFL. Oh, okay. 1786. Was I close?
No, 1898.
Oh, that was kind of close.
Between Fitzroy and Essendon, and Fitzroy won that.
Pretty sure Essendon won that.
No.
Oh, whatever.
Who won the first ever VFL premiership?
Oh, then I'm guessing it's Fitzroy, isn't it?
No, it was Essendon. 1897.
Well, you just said it was.
There was no grand final in 1897.
Well, then why'd you say it was the first ever grand final? All right, go on.
It was the first ever grand final.
Yeah, all right, yeah, whatever.
Okay. So 1897, there was no grand final. There was another year where there was another grand final.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What year was that?
Jeez, I'm gonna go with 1981, but I don't know.
Nope.
No, 1902.
No.
No, wait, I know this one. No, it's 1914.
1923.
God, I was gonna go with the one.
Essendon won that as well. Essendon's got a habit of not winning grand finals.
Go.
What team was the first?
I'm 0 for 3 right now.
Yeah, 0 for 3. What team was the first team to win a three-peat?
A 3-peat? Was it the Demons?
No.
Oh, who was it?
You have another guess. It was in the 1900s.
Oof.
Like the 1901 to 1909.
Okay, so was it? Alright, so what was that team? Was it? So it wasn't the D. Well, it's gonna be a team that's not really big at the moment. So I'm gonna guess. Actually, no. Was it Fitzroy?
Bang, bang.
Oh, well, who was it?
It was Carlton, 1906 to 1908.
That's not really relevant now, but go on.
Who's the only team to do 100 years? So they won a premiership 100 years, and then 100 years later, they won the premiership again.
Alright, so it wasn't like the Swans, because they've only been 72 years.
No, I mean, like, hypothetically, Melbourne won the 1900 grand final, but they lost the 2000 grand final. If they won, they would have done the 100 years type of thing.
Was it the Tigers?
No.
Oh, who was it?
Collingwood won 1910 and 2010.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
When was St Kilda's first grand final?
1966?
That was St Kilda's first premiership.
Oh, okay. First grand final. Well, I'm guessing 1965 then, because I think they played the year before that.
1913.
Oh, okay. I'm not really good at this. Go on.
Well, you said you were okay.
I thought you meant like who won the most grand finals in the 80s. Alright, go on.
Okay. Bulldogs, Hawthorn and North Melbourne entered the VFL in 1925.
Yeah.
Who was the first club out of them to win a premiership?
I'm going to go with the Bulldogs.
You're right, actually, then that wasn't the question I was asking for, but you're right. So, who was the first club to make a grand final?
To make a grand final. What year did they come in?
1925.
I'm going to go with the Hawks, actually, to make a grand final.
Bum, bum.
Or was it the Bulldogs?
Bum, bum.
Was it North Melbourne?
Ding!
No.
Yes, they made 1950 and they lost to Essendon.
Oh, yeah.
Geelong has only won one premiership in an even year. So their premiership has gone 1925, 1931, 1937, 1951, 1963, 2007, 9 and 11. They've won one more, but it was an even year. Which one was it? It was a back-to-back. So it was either 26, 32, 38, 52, 64, 08.
I'm going to go with 38.
Bum, bum.
What was it?
1952.
I'm so bad at this. Go on. Let's just call this game the game that Jeff lost by like.
Who's the only team to do the three-peat twice?
Melbourne.
Ding!
Oh, good. I got one. That was a complete guess. I didn't really think about that. Go on. Any more?
Yeah, I have more. I
Okay,
have
go,
more.
go.
Who did Bulldogs play in their second and their last grand final?
This. Oh no, it wasn't the Saints. I'm gonna go with the Demons.
Bum, bum.
Oh, who was it?
They played Hawthorn in the 1961 grand final.
Oh, I was gonna say Hawthorn.
But you didn't.
No, I
See
didn't.
how that works?
Yeah, I see how that works.
You were. Who was the latest team? So who's the only team to lose 3 grand finals in a row twice?
3 grand finals in a row. Oh, is it the Saints?
No, Collingwood.
When did Collingwood lose it?
They lost. They lost 79 to 81.
Yep. Oh, I think the Cats.
And then 36, 37, 38 they lost.
Were the Cats the other one?
No.
Okay, alright, go on.
The only teams to ever lose 3 in a row has been Collingwood twice, Richmond once, and South Melbourne.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, alright. Any more questions?
Yes, I've got 3 more.
Okay, go.
Name the 3 grand final draws. What year?
So there was Collingwood Saints 2010. North Melbourne and Collingwood had one as well. 1977.
Yep.
Alright, so that's 2.
Yes. Good. I love your math skills.
I don't know. Who was the other draw? Oh god, who was it? Was it the Hawks?
Nope.
Who's the other? I can't remember the other one.
1948, the Bombers drew with Essendon. The Bombers drew with Essendon.
Oh, okay, alright, yeah. That was a cracker of a game. I heard that Dixon playing on Dixon. Dick Reynolds playing on Dick Reynolds as well. They knew all their own tricks as well.
That's why it was
They
a draw.
both jumped at the same time and everything.
Essendon drew in Melbourne. And Essendon's kicking that game was 7 goals, 27.
Well, at least they won.
No, they lost actually.
Well, okay.
They lost the replay.
Opposed from Melbourne scored 27 goals to 7 goals. Okay.
The second last question. What 2 teams are playing the most grand finals together?
Hawthorn and Essendon.
They only play Melbourne, Collingwood. They played in 7, and the ratio was Collingwood 1, Melbourne 6.
You wouldn't see that these days.
No. The last one.
Yeah.
Name the teams Collingwood won their 4-peat against.
Their 4. What decade was it?
Well, started in the 20s, ended in the 30s.
Okay. I'm gonna say Carlton's one of them.
Nope.
St Kilda's
Nope.
Geelong.
Yes. Got one. Come on. And that was 1930. And then
I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna take I'm gonna go with Essendon. I'm gonna go with my first choice.
dun dun. Considering I told you that Richmond has lost 3 grand finals in a row, they lost to Collingwood in 27, 28, and 29. Then Geelong lost in 1930.
Okay.
And then Richmond lost in 1931. That's gotta suck. 4 out of.
Well, we've seen a lot these days as well. Do you want to go to a track?
Yes, we'll go to a track, and then we'll wrap up, and we'll talk about the big final round of the season here on the Australian Football League Hour on 3SSR.
Yeah, that's right. It's 3SSR on Swinburne Radio with Liam and Jeff.
It's 3SSR on Swinburne Radio. That's good to know.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point of radio. You're supposed to tell people what's coming up next and all that.
Yeah, but it's 3SSR. We're the AFL Hour here.
Oh yeah, it's the AFL Hour. It's the morning. Give me a break. I'm tired. I didn't get much sleep last night. Took an hour train to get here, buddy. An hour train.
My train takes me an hour as well. Let's
But I
just
have like
relax.
switch and stuff, and I live in Craigieburn. That's like the middle of nowhere.
Oh. 1 sec, I gotta start crying.
No,
Give me like 5 seconds.
You know what? I will put a song on.
Listen here, mate. You got one more warning. No, let's get into the final round of the 2016 AFL.
What? We're gonna do what? Oh my god, we're gonna get into the final round.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my god.
You enjoying yourself?
Hey, why did you cross the road?
Why?
To get to the other side.
Boo.
Oh, I got one for that too. Hold on.
Your parents didn't cuddle you as a kid, didn't they?
No, not really. Thanks for yourself for giving us these sound effects. They're awesome. Alright, so this is getting on for another 8 minutes.
Okay.
I don't know how to turn this thing off. It's still going. Oh, it's a 30-second sound effect. So, I guess we just gotta stand here While cricket
Do-do-do-do-do.
while cricket sound effects just go on for the next 24 seconds. While we're on this time, let's talk about something more. Let's talk about the AFL laws and quite peaceful.
Why are you trying?
I don't know how to turn this thing off. Hold on, give it another 10 seconds. So AFL Hour is terrific and stuff. It was that's not a touchscreen computer, kid. Alright, so so let's just do our outro and get out of here. Alright, so what's
So we'll start off at Adelaide Oval, and it's a must-win game between Adelaide and West Coast, so both teams actually.
Yep.
If Adelaide gets a big win, they could finish top of the ladder, but if they lose, they can find themselves outside the 8. The West Coast can keep their slim top 8's hopes alive if they win.
Yeah.
But if they're not, they could probably end up travelling to Melbourne next week. And then we'll go to in Geelong. The Cats take on Melbourne again. If everything goes Geelong way, they could finish first. Melbourne cannot make the 8, but Geelong can miss out on the 4.
Yep.
And then another game, Essendon just cannot wait for this game to be over against Carlton. I think Carlton will probably give Essendon a good old spanking, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go down to Sydney, and the Swans take on the Tigers. Richmond has won the last 2 games over there, so that's going to be an interesting match between the two clubs.
Yeah, completely.
All the top teams at the moment, they all have something to lose.
Yeah, exactly. I've never seen a tie in the top 8. When you don't really, technically there isn't a top 4 because they're all the same percentage.
Pretty much. Then you got Gold Coast taking on Port Adelaide, which is I can see both teams winning.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think any team really cares. Like, they just want the season to be over.
Yep.
I don't think really any of the, apart from Melbourne and probably St Kilda, who want to, end on a high. I don't think any other team really cares. Then on Sunday, the game that you'll probably hear in cricket at, because of what I've heard so far, no one's probably going to want to show up to it. North Melbourne versus Giants.
Yeah, no, because the North Melbourne don't really look like a side that's going to be, cutthroat kind of competition, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to be backing the Giants for that game.
So will I, but again, I don't think, with the whole situation with Broomer and that, I don't think many people will want to show up to the game. Go on Sunday, Saints take on Brisbane, which probably going to be Justin Leppi's last game as coach.
Yeah, well, we're going to think that. You know what I mean? We don't know what's going to happen next year, but we're just thinking, well, he hasn't had the best season this year, so let's just say for now that this might be his last game as senior coach.
Yeah, and if St Kilda wins and North Melbourne loses, they're tied. They're only missing out by percentage.
Yeah.
Which is a big tick in anyone's box. Then you got Hawthorn taking on Collingwood at the MCG. Again, a must-win game. Could be Travis Clerk's last game.
It might be. And do you think he's going to go to the Bulldogs? A lot of people saying
I think he's definitely going to the Bulldogs.
I think he might be a good
I'm pretty sure
fit
it's
for
already
them.
signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Stevie Wonder. Okay, go on.
And it's a big game for Bulldogs. It's a big game for the Hawks. If the Hawks lose, they're out the 4. And it's been shown, Adelaide is the only team. In 98, they were 5th and they won the premiership. No team can... Everyone's like, a team can win, but no team can really win outside the top 4.
No, so you're going to be aiming for that top 4 because you get the most opportunities.
Yeah, and then words. Don't you love how words just stuff up? And then the last game of the round, the last game of the 2016 home and away season, is the Dockers taking on the Bulldogs.
Yeah. You know what? You think the Bulldogs are going to win that one, but I don't back at the Dockers yet.
No, I think they're going to put in a really strong showing. And, the Doggies have no captain. They have Bontempelli. Easton Wood, we forgot to talk about Easton Wood, how he did his ankle and he might miss the finals as well.
Yeah, well,
so Doggies are about 2 of their captains.
They're bringing in an inexperienced and very battered side, so I'm not going to back the Doggies to win the final this year.
No, not at all. And then after that, there goes the season. The home and away season will be over after this week. Then we're heading to finals.
Oh, yeah. Let's just say right now, who do you think is going to win the grand final? I'm backing Sydney.
So I'm backing Sydney as well, but I think it's going to be a tight one, especially if Doggies lose and West Coast wins, there'll be no final in Melbourne. Because Sydney will be first, Adelaide will be second, Giants will be 5th, and West Coast will be 6th.
Oh, I can't actually imagine that happening, but it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I know the AFL will probably hate it. The AFL would love to have a Melbourne team in. I think they always want a Melbourne team in.
Oh, yeah, because we bring the atmosphere over here.
And again, the week off. I'm not a fan of it.
Well, oh, really?
The week off heading into the finals.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you meant...
sorry, the round 23 bye. I just think it's
yeah, we didn't need it.
Derailing a momentum. We've spoken about it before.
Keep the motivation up. Keep the...
Everyone's hyped into finals. This has been the AFL Hour for this Friday.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks. We tried our best.
I'd like to thank my mum for always believing in me.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank my dad for not believing me.
Now it's the Oz Kickers. Good on you, Oz Kickers. They're going nuts over here.
I'd like to thank Joel Selwood and his Oz Kickers.
No one really wants to thank Joel Selwood. Okay, thanks for listening to the AFL Hour. We'll be back next Friday. Actually, it might not be us. We've got some broadcast journalism guys coming in next Friday, and they don't sound boring as they sound. They're pretty cool guys.
They are total lit fam.
Yeah.
Now, this is the AFL Hour. We'll probably, if we're not back, we'll see you in the final weeks of the season at Sin.
Yep. You're listening to 3 USSR.